Hi, this is Trey Passer, and this is going to be my review of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Episode 9, called Repairs. Okay, it starts off with a woman going shopping at a convenience store, and you see the guy behind the counter is looking at her. She grabs her items and put it on the counter, and then he says to her, I think they even show a newspaper, "You're the one that was in charge, right? When all those people died." I think he mentioned a guy's name when Witchcott died and all those other people died, right? And she's looking jittery and decides, well, bad idea. Maybe I'll go. She tries to put away her items and leave, but he blocks her way, from leaving. And then, she says she doesn't want any trouble. And of course, then things starts flying. You see cans flying from the shelves, attacking the store clerk. And then you see the girl is surprised and stunned. And then the guy runs out, and you see him. He even gets. I think what happened. I think he gets attacked again. And then she runs out, and then you see her, basically break down, and she's crying, like I said, not again, and she's like crying. See, she's terrified of what's happening. Okay, okay, and then they flash to the Shield ship, and then the Shield ship, okay, to the Shield ship, and they Coulson's telling them that they're gonna have to. Actually, let me back up a bit. From last episode where we saw Agent Ward and Agent May do the tango, the bed tango there. You see, they show them, getting, May getting dressed, and then Ward coming out, of course. And I think he tells them that, he says something about, disguising their, basically, leaving first, and he'll follow later, so it doesn't look like they're together. But he turns around and she's already gone. Okay. So I know he feels like a cheap, feels like a cheap $2 hooker. But anyway, then they go to the ship, and Coulson basically tells them that they're going to investigate this case where there was this accident with this parcel accelerator. There was an explosion, and these people got killed. And there's a person that was in charge of the safety. This girl that we saw in the opening scene. The people are blaming her for it. Okay, and they think that maybe she has telekinesis. Okay, so, but they're not sure, so they're going to investigate. Okay, and I think even Sky wants to I think she whines about wanting to be, to be a part of contact, but Coulson says no, it's going to be him, Ward, and May, and they go, and they go to the woman's house. They pull up, and you see the sheriff there, and angry townfolk. Like I said, they're not all they're missing. Like I said, is torches and pitchforks. And they're basically screaming at the girl, the young lady that's on her porch, and with the sheriff there. And Coulson, shows his ID and everything else, and he explains, he introduces himself to the lady and says, "Listen, we're here to help and find out what's going on." And of course, she's terrified and not knowing what's going to happen. And then you see, I think even somebody throws an egg, and they're screaming at her, yelling at her. And then all of a sudden, a cop car that's parked starts, basically runs at the crowd, like really aims itself at the crowd and cause everybody to scatter. Of course, so now they really think maybe something's wrong with her, that the girl's causing it, and of course she's absolutely terrified that and not knowing what's going on, and then all of a sudden Agent May, with the crowd is screaming and yelling, she actually tranquilizes the young lady. She shoots her and tranquilizes her, and then they take her off and take her to the Shield ship. Shield ship, I see. Anyway, after that. Oh yeah. Meanwhile, Fitz and Simmons are basically they're talking while they're investigating this, the accident at the plant of this partial accelerator. They're taking data, and they're talking about doing pranks, and how because they graduated early, they didn't get a chance to play pranks on somebody else. So they decided that they want to play a prank on Sky. Okay, so anyway, they flash forward to the ship where they're questioning May and Coulson is questioning the lady about what's happening, and she's really terrified, freaked out, and she thinks that basically that God is punishing her. Okay, and of course she's absolutely terrified. Of course, and then you see they come out and they said, well, we'll leave you here until we try to figure out what's going on, while they investigate more of the accident. Okay, and then you have Simmons. Actually, I think you see this. I think you see this at first when Coulson and I think, and even I think Sky even wants to go talk to talk to the lady, and she's kind of blaming May for her being a shoot first kind of person, and this is, I guess, the part of their prank. Fitz and Simmons basically tell her this exaggerated story about May, how she got the name Cavalry, okay, and which is really exaggerated, how she took out 100 men and stuff, and riding on a horse, and I guess that was their idea of telling a prank, telling May that, telling Sky that about May, and then you see really quickly, I think this is after Coulson and them talk to the terrifying young woman. You see an image of somebody like a shadow of somebody in the background, and then it goes and cuts off. And then later you see Simmons. She's actually working on the simulation about to figure out how the accident occurred, and then you actually see a guy materialize and actually go to attack her, and she falls down, and then that's when you figure out there's something on the ship that's coming after her, that this girl is not the cause of this, that this thing, this ghoster or whatever it is, this basically popping up in the ship and is causing these accidents or causing these things to happen. And of course, then that's Sky, when everybody else finds out about it, when Simmons tells everybody, and then you see it. I think there's even a nice little fight scene between where Ward is with Fitz and Simmons, and the guy starts attacking them. Because actually, let me back up a bit. He basically, I think, pulls the he doesn't cut the engine, but he damages the ship where they have to crash land. Well, and then you see Ward and Fitz and Simmons after they rescue, because I think Fitz gets locked in the cabinet, locked in a closet by this ghost thing, and then after they rescue him from that, it's Fitz and Simmons and Ward, and they're he's trying to get them through the dark plane, and then of course this thing attacks them, and then he fights with it briefly, and then the thing knocks him out with a wrench and locks them, all three of them up. Okay, and then you see Coulson, and then Coulson actually sees the thing. He's with Sky, and they actually see the guy when he tries to attack them, and then he vanishes again. And then later, you see that this thing is after. You think this thing is after this young lady, but they said the safest place for her to be is in this thing, in this room, that secure room, because even with the power out, the room is secure, so the thing can't get in there. The creature, the ghost, or whatever it is, can't get in there. And then later, you see, they told Agent May that, and then you see Agent May. Actually, there's actually a nice scene between when Sky goes to talk to the frightened young lady, and how she has this great fear that she thinks God is punishing her, and Sky basically calms her down and tells her that Sky, the God wouldn't do this. That the nuns used to tell her all these stories to frighten her about God, but one nun she remembers saying that God is love, and that stuck with her. So that was a nice moment, which Agent May observes. And then later, after the creature attacks Coulson and Sky, and they and then they run back because they figure out that this creature or the ghost, or wherever it is after this woman. And then later you see Agent May and the young woman. They're running off to draw this creature, to have him chase him, and then you find out that this guy that's really, that's supposed to be this they think is a ghost or a result of this accident, the parcel accelerator is actually a guy that worked in there, a guy that he assumed that died in there. Okay, and then for some reason, I don't know how, supposedly Sky figured this out. Supposedly Sky figured out, wait a minute, this guy is not after, he's not after her. He's trying to protect her because he's in love with her, or he likes her. How she figured that out, I don't know. Okay, now how they figure that out part, I don't know. But anyway, she basically draws him out, and they run off into a barn, and they have this little physical showdown and stuff, and then Agent May figures it out that this guy is not trying to harm her, because she actually has dialogue with him. He stays, like I say, he's phasing in and out, and I think even Simmons says that the more he appears, he's starting to lose. He's going to basically fade out of this dimension. Okay, the more he uses his power to phase in and out, and basically, May figures out that this guy is here to protect her, and she basically tells him that, he basically tells young lady that he was just trying to protect her and that he liked her. Basically, he kept causing the accidents that she kept investigating because he just wanted to spend time with her, basically, and what she figures out. And you can see he's kind of really religious as well, because he's saying that God has put me in hell for, you know, causing these accidents and stuff and killing these people. And then basically May tells him he has to let go. Okay, you have to, you know, you have to let her go. Okay, and then you see him, you know, they have a brief moment, and then he vanishes. Okay, and then later you see, you know, Sky basically, you know, not Sky, Agent May basically tells Coulson, yeah, she basically told him, you know, that she told him, you know, when he asked her how did you, you know, get him to go? She said, well, I basically did what you told me to do, you know, to let it go. Okay, so this episode had a lot, actually more of May and was kind of, excuse me, May centric, even though Sky contributed. I mean, she still was a little annoying, but she contributed a lot in this episode. So, and I think this was a good episode, and it ended with a punchline actually. So, like I said before, Fitz and Simmons played the prank on Sky by exaggerating Agent May's reputation, but you see Fitz coming in with I guess whipped cream on half of his face, and he's basically accusing everybody except Agent May, who's not there, of doing this prank on him. Of course, and everybody denies it. And then you see later they show an ending shot of Agent May, and she's sitting up there, and then you see a slight grin on her face, and which is a funny way to end it, because I think even Coulson says in this episode, he said that Agent May used to be quiet, but she had a mischievous side. Okay, and then after this incident where she basically rescued, because everybody exaggerates, well, Fitz and Simmons exaggerates Agent May's not heroism, but her name, why she got Calvary, and then Agent Ward tells them a story which he kind of downplays a little bit, but he's still exaggerating it, and then Coulson basically tells you the real story, that they were basically going to rescue these people he was going to rescue these people, and she wasn't the same after that incident that happened. Okay, and it was a good episode. I'm going to give this episode a 7.5. Yeah, I'm going to give it a 7.5. Okay, decent episode. I'm looking forward to the next part, because the next part is supposed to be a two-parter, and they're bringing back the guy Mike from the pilot episode. Okay, it looks like he's an agent right there, and you see he's clashing with Agent May, because I think she said, you don't belong here or something like that. And I think Coulson says, we bring you on the team, and so it looks good actually. It's supposed to be a two-parter, so I'm looking forward to that. So let me know what you think on Marvel Agents S.H.I.E.L.D. episode 9, Repairs. I thought it was good. I'll give it a 7.5. Okay, so let me know what you think. Feel free to leave comments down below. And this is Trey Pastor saying so long and take care.